You're listening to the Birds on Power Lines podcast, and in this installment, we are going to be continuing our discussion on the second season of The Sandman. We've got a few older
non-video.
Well, they're on YouTube, but also on audio. From the first season.
You can't see us.
You can't see us. That was when we were doing other things. But you can see that from the first season, and we have one podcast so far on season 2. We are not done the first season, so we'll probably go back and loop back around. And
we got halfway through.
We got halfway through. In hindsight, I wish we did it full, because with this part of season 2, there's a few things I forgot.
Yeah, well, I remember.
Well, okay. Well, and if you haven't listened to our podcast before, welcome. We put out a podcast every second Tuesday of the month currently. And we typically do fandoms and other things, whatever is striking our fancy. But right now it's mostly fandoms. And from our discussion on Sandman so far, this one has read the comics. Yeah. I have not. So our perspectives are different because
Slightly,
because this one knows
I know what's going to happen.
This one knows what's going to happen, and I don't. So if I sound completely naive, it's because I have not read it. So this would be, I'd be that fan that would be going as we go here. And I in a way, I don't want to know what happens.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't. And
That's
every
fine.
time this one wants to tell me something, I'm like,
No,
I don't want to know. So, and I think there's a little bit of a, in a way, I think it's more fun for me because I don't know what's going to happen, but, and I have no,
I would be more confused if I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, it's a little confusing, but, and that will come out. So,
okay.
Without further ado, and again, if you are listening to us on audio, thank you so much. And you can also see us on our YouTube channel, Birds on Power Lines podcast. And there's other things there that you can look at. All right. So, please join us. All right. So why don't we, go first?
Yeah. So we're doing episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. 4, 5, and 6.
The arc is like the brieflives arc. I'm pretty sure it's
I don't. Whatever it is.
It's the brieflives
It's
arc.
the next 3 episodes.
Yeah. So 4, 5, and 6.
So I guess we're doing 3, and 3.
No, I think
maybe not.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It'll get a little bit harder.
So we'll see. We'll see.
But,
so maybe we won't do it that way. But so far it's 3 and 3. So I'll let you go first with.
Okay,
so it's season 2, episode 4 or number 15, depending on who you are. And it is Brieflives.
Yeah, so just to start off, I really liked the scene. I really liked Delirium, like the character. I really liked the range. Even though it's not like she's not quite as like moving back and forth between like, okay, this is kind of normal, and wow, this is kind of like absolutely. Where did that come from?
I'm still a little confused about Delirium.
Okay.
I'm going to get to that, but. Okay.
Well, either way, I liked her in the show. She was like she seemed very charming, and I especially liked her introductory scene being like at the gate with the 3 guardians, the castle doors, the 3 guardians. I really liked that scene.
Is she the youngest?
Yes.
And when we talk about the endless, do we not say they them? I'm just curious because they're like
depending
gods,
on which
right?
one.
Not gods, but
they're the endless.
They're the endless. They're the endless.
Yeah,
just like because
but I just really liked her character in the show. I just found her really charming. And it's kind of going into the same scene. When Dream and Delirium were leaving the castle, and we see like the window grills again. So if you were listening to the last podcast, you know that I had a little bit of a problem with the window grills in the main foyer. I kind of take it back. It might have just been the lighting in that scene. I just might have just not liked it because of that. Because then
you actually said when we were watching
in this one I was
don't mind that.
Yeah, in this one it looked more like less striking to me for some reason. So I take it back. Maybe it was just something about the sunset.
I wonder what that means. I mean, there's probably a reason that they're like that. But anyways,
I don't know. Maybe.
There's so much thought to everything in the way this looks. Anyways.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, and then I think I was saying this in the last podcast as well, but then like so it's interesting how you can only sometimes see like Delirium with her like mismatched eyes. You can only sometimes see it, and like especially like later on in a different episode, I'm gonna mention this again. Like
because he actually says your eyes are the same color,
and then you can see it. But so sometimes you can and sometimes you can't, and it's interesting like I don't know if that was intentional or not. It might
I have a
just
feeling it is because
maybe, who knows?
Because I got the sense that she's trying to control.
Yeah.
And
yeah, sure.
I think that's sort of a product of her
maybe
doing
maybe
I'm not in control, and then that's what happens.
Yeah. So like when you see it, it's definitely an important thing, and then when you don't really notice it. So maybe it was the lighting. I don't know.
I have a feeling it's purposeful.
Probably, more than likely. And yeah, I just like, and then like looking at this episode is the first time we see Destruction. And like we see him like in his
he goes into his gallery. If we see him in season 1,
we do.
But
no, we don't see him in season 1.
don't.
Yeah, so we see him like go into his gallery, and like I just really like all of the galleries in general. Like everyone's gallery. No, did we see? No, this was.
They all have a different gallery.
They all have a different gallery.
From the ones that we see. I mean, they're all there.
When
for
I wrote
the
this down,
same
this is in relation to Morpheus's gallery. I liked the look of his gallery. It's like very like. It just seems like very like him.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like everyone's gallery is like slightly personalized. Well,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah. And I just liked it. I like the look of them. They're simple but effective. Very nice. And I said when we were watching this.
Destructions is kind of rustic.
Yeah, it's kind of very rustic. And then whereas Dreams is like very like it's very minimalistic. Like it's literally just they're there and there's glass and you think it's really interesting. And I was saying this, I was going to write this down while we were watching this, and you know this, Lucienne, absolutely on point this episode. The first episode, she was just like absolutely going after Dream, like, are you sure that who else just recently left for the waking world? Queen Nada. So I really liked that.
Well, I mean, and it's interesting that she's able to say things to him and he accepts it.
And he accepts it, yeah. I mean, because she is like basically his second in command, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like she's like his most like trusted like person who is like in the dreaming, and she's also like the one who like stayed and like ran things when like almost everyone else like ran off. She was the one who stayed. It's
interesting that the other ones don't seem to have someone like that.
Interesting, yeah, it is interesting.
I
think a little bit with Destruction and Barnabas, I think, and then so now it's going to be Delirium and Barnabas. So like.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of like how seriously Dream takes his duties.
Yeah, that's true.
If he's
that's true. Yeah.
off doing other things, someone is still looking after
it. Yeah.
The show.
Yeah, and I thought that was funny. I liked that, and yeah. So I was this one. Yeah. So I was really hoping. So Wanda in the comics. So in the comics, Wanda is in a completely different arc. She's in the one that got removed because it wasn't very dream centric in the which one? A Game of You. Yeah, she's in the arc for A Game of You. Mm-hmm. But then in this in the series, she's moved into the role of like the taxi driver. This is a different character in the comics. And I was really hoping that she'd be fine, though of course in the comics the original character Wanda dies, and the taxi driver, I think I wrote down her name was like Ruby, I want to say. Yeah, so she also dies. So there's like two things working against her, and so of course she died in the show. I was really hoping she wouldn't. I was hoping she'd be okay.
Yeah, I'll talk about Wanda, but yeah. And then, I mean, it's
yeah, it's just sad because like we got like basically like a double death. Like we had first we had the lawyer Bernie K-Pax, and then we had Ishtar, and then we also had Wanda.
Yeah, and this whole thing with yeah, I'm gonna like. Why don't I? Can I talk? Like, sure. Yeah, you can. Can I get into what?
You can go. You can go.
Because are you done? Okay. Because I want.
The last thing.
There's things that I also have to say about that. I don't know if it's the best strategy.
No, actually, it kind of goes into this. So the last thing that I was going to say about this episode was that everyone, especially Desire, is like really blaming Dream for everything that went wrong.
And I have a lot to say about that.
And I'm going to probably say this again, even though he was the one, like, even though, yes, he did go into it with some, like, selfish intentions, sure. I acknowledge it. That's perfectly, that's a perfectly valid point.
But he also was the one who was saying, everything.
Maybe we should stop. Maybe we should take a break. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. Maybe we should, like, think about this. And I'm not blaming, like, Delirium at all. And not that either. But he's not, like, he should not have all the blame on him. And I feel like everyone else is putting
that is part of it, right? Yeah. Like, and
every other character.
I mean, and this is the thing.
Okay,
you know,
you can go.
and I'm going to say this again when we get into the sixth part.
Okay,
but everyone blames him for everything, even though
main character syndrome.
they are involved in it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and then the whole thing with, what happens to Wanda, and it isn't until the third episode where Dream has a chance to say, well, you set up all your friends to die just because we're going to look for, I mean, there's a certain level of responsibility. And that's what I was thinking about watching this thing. Like, why would the mechanism,
why would Destruction do that?
Be involved in I mean, he could destroy all kinds of things, right? Why would he, I mean, and he actually made the mechanism.
That's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, he must have had some, I don't know how it works, some say in,
maybe I don't know.
Like
well,
and to choose. Like, I feel like
Destruction did say in the last episode, like, once you guys started looking for me, I couldn't really control it anymore.
Well, but the thing is, he set it up that way in the first place.
Sure, maybe.
But I mean, that's the thing. Intention. Like, would it?
Maybe that was the thing. Realize that would happen. I don't know.
But, what do you mean? I didn't realize that would happen.
If you didn't fully acknowledge that would happen.
I mean, so I mean, like, it's one thing to go to the waking world selfishly.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you want to check out and see if you happen to run into the But it's another thing. I mean, I'm sure there was no intention of killing people.
No, of course.
Right. Because at this point, Dream does care about humanity. You see that with Hob, right? So, and with all of the other interactions, he does. He there's no way that he would have done any of that. I really don't think he would. Even as much as he wants to see Nada, if he knew going into it that was going to be the result, I don't think he would have done it.
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe he would have before, like Destruction says later on. I mean, you say, well, just hastening what's going to happen to them anyways. I mean, sure. But the present Dream, I don't think would have done that. Even though he was in himself being, and that's the other thing. It's interesting to see how the other endless affect. I mean, they are all affected by each other, right? I mean, they all dream, right? They all have desires.
Sure. Yeah.
They they all go through despair, and like it's kind of. I find that really interesting.
That later. Yeah.
Well, I just find that interesting. Yeah, because they're not immune to those things, and I mean, even with in the third episode,
I think. Sorry, this is occurred to me. So in this episode, I'm trying to remember if this is adapted from the comics or not. I think it was. Delirium and Dream were talking, and she was saying something along the lines of like, if we stood under a lamppost and looked at a lightning strike, then people would like for centuries later. They would also stand under that same lamppost and look for something that isn't there just because we did it. Right, like we have an influence on the waking world. Yeah, she's that was in the show, right?
I'm not. I don't recall it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there. But that's an interesting thing.
I think it was. Maybe it wasn't.
Even if it wasn't.
Anyway, either way.
That's the disadvantage you're at.
Either way, I think like just that sentiment is like very powerful. Like also connects with like what you're saying. They influence each other, but they also influence. Like the mortal
it's kind of interesting how that all goes down.
Realms,
okay, so that now going back now, what were you saying? Let me go through here. Okay, so all right, so here Delirium. I'm actually I felt sorry for her at the beginning because even the dragon didn't know who she was.
Yeah. The weird.
And I'm like, what? You don't know Dream's sister? Like I was just like.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think his other siblings come calling very often.
But still, I mean,
especially not like in a normal way.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Yeah. So then I said, Dream pensive, sorry for himself, and I put my question mark. Really? I mean, what did you think was going to happen? Just standing there and the rain is coming down. So this again is despair, and I'm sure despair is watching this because this is a good example of despair.
I'm actually curious to see if despair will be in the next episode.
Well, we'll see. There's a lot going on here. So I said only in this one in terms of his despair over Nada. I mean, he can only blame himself for this, right? I mean, there's I mean, he can't really blame. I mean, I wonder if desire had a role to play with that.
No, they literally said like, I didn't do it. It was entirely you.
Yeah, I guess.
So, and I honestly, I don't think that they would lie about that.
Yeah, no, I don't think that. I honestly don't think that they lie to each other.
I don't think the endless really can really.
I don't think they lie to each other. They might not say everything that's on their mind, but I don't think they lie to each other. Okay, Lucien, spared from having to tell Dream her thoughts.
That was good timing.
Whether he's capable of love or not. And, at the beginning of this, I think he is, but I don't think he understands the difference yet. Like, I don't think he understands the difference between love and want yet.
Yeah.
I think he has experienced both, but I don't think he's separated the two at this point, right? That doesn't happen until the third episode, which is kind of weird. Like, you're thinking that they've lived for so long, and it just like in this little tiny arc of time they're actually learning. And I think it's like kind of an interesting thing.
The show does this very well, but like, because they're not people, they're not humans, and then except like
no, but the fact that they exist means that it's for everything, not just humans. It's for animals. It's for
of course,
bugs or whatever. Like that,
cats specifically. We see that in the bonus episode that you didn't watch.
Yeah, I didn't see that now.
Cats.
Like, I didn't see that. Yes. Well, cats. I don't.
Cats.
Anyways, I'll have to go back and watch it. Okay, so where am I putting it? The Dream particularly. I'm intrigued that Delirium and Desire know something is up. Like, they know something is changing. Like, instinctively that something in the universe is changing, and they know that something is at an ending, right? Sure. And they're saying, well, you must know, right? So so there is an ending, and having not read any of this, I predict that there's an ending to all of them, or at least some of them. Something's I mean, they're gonna, whatever happens to Endless, I don't know, everything changes, but I don't think, but they're always there. Like, I don't know, anyways, that's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. But maybe this is why Destruction left them, because he didn't want to. I mean, he knew.
I think he fundamentally wanted to change.
But I think
he didn't want to be Destruction anymore.
Well, no, because it's not, because then it's not, it's everything that's gonna, like, anyways, like, I'm gonna get to that, because it's sort of an interesting parallel to that in the third episode, so I want to get to that, so I don't want to talk about it because I'm gonna be all over the place here. Okay, and then Desire calls Dream out, saying, well, you kept going even though that this is all your fault. And again, coming back to the thing that Dream is always the one that's blamed for everything, and that thing particularly with Orpheus makes me crazy. But anyways, but we'll get to that. Okay. Wanda, an interesting character. Of course, I know a little bit about the character, which is why I'm surprised that she met her ending so quickly.
Yeah, that did actually happen in both.
It's like tragic.
So like two things almost working.
So it didn't last. Too bad to see her go. Then I'm sorry, but as soon as I saw Wanda's car, I'm like, that's the Bentley from Good Omens. I don't know if I'm the only one that thought that.
I didn't.
It looks so much like the Bentley from Good Omens.
Maybe.
I'm like, and I'm sure
I think it's just
and that actually pulled me out of the show because
British car.
I saw the Bentley, so I don't know if I'm the only one that thought that, but it just really pulled me out of the show because I was distracted by. But I was just distracted by it. So I mean, it's like you should choose a different car because Good Omens has already been out when you put this in, right? So, anyways, Ishtar. That's Ishtar right now, because I think at first I wrote Istar. Figures out she's gonna die. Yeah. Asks Dream why.
I saw that candle and I was like, that's going.
Well, I mean, that's how it's gonna go down. But I mean, and I'm still puzzled by how a god can be defeated by just this fire. Like, this is the thing I don't understand, because in order to kill a god, you and they say that in the show is like they die because you don't believe in them anymore, right? Sure, yeah. So how does it so anyways, but again, I'm overthinking it, and that's something I always do.
Partially because like I think that they even said like she doesn't have any like temples left. It was just like that little place where she was dancing. So like I guess once that is gone, then she was gone. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know.
You kill a god if you stop believing in them.
Yeah, but the thing is, at the end they did. But anyways, I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it. I should just. It's a plot device. Also, like, it's a plot device. It was interesting.
She got distracted.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah. So and then asking Dream why he hates her so much to bring this ruin down on her, and like, he doesn't. You can see he's worried about it.
I really like the fact that they really focus on, they linger on faces, like even for an uncomfortably long amount of time. I'm gonna
I'll say this now. I'm gonna say it again. Yeah. The production quality is amazing. I mean, it's not like watching, Andor or something. That's not what we mean, but I mean, when I look
It's
at
very
it,
emotional, and you can see it.
the
and
lighting,
they know it.
I mean, these people should get awards for lighting, all right? Because that is done so well. And we've talked about this before, and this is like, because I have a bit of understand, like I learned a little bit about this. I'll just put it that way in my past, which drives me crazy when I'm even looking at the video for this podcast and I can't get better lighting. I mean, I'd have to really, because I've learned how to do lighting.
We're trying.
But I mean, honestly, so well lit. Like you could have everything dark and just the shine on the eyes, and it's just because the eyes tell everything. You don't need words.
And it does partially help that
and that's how
Tom Sturrage is very pale.
Well,
so
but that's the thing. Like
that does help.
But that's how you know that the actors are committed because the eyes don't lie.
No,
and
like,
it's
and,
just
like the expression on the face even doesn't change, but you can just see in the eyes like that's crazy.
It's like superb. I love this. I mean, this is like an actor's dream to watch this kind of thing. Like pardon the reference, but really, it's just so good. And then her dance, like going back to Ishtar, like her dance at the end. I know that there's like some animation in that, but it's just it was just so beautifully done. So it was just so yeah, it was really good. So then I said, Dream, of course, doesn't get it. Like he doesn't understand why she's saying. I guess he sees that she's in danger, but doesn't fully appreciate what's about to happen. And then he does.
Yeah, and then and then he even goes back out, and then he's like, "Wait, hold on, hold on."
Well, and then the thing is like like that whole thing, like he looks into the camera and just says, "Run," knowing that him and Desire are going to be fine, but now delirium because I was just thinking about Desire because then Desire comes in and just blames him for everything again instead of acknowledging the fact that of course they went to look for destruction, but. I mean, it was Destruction's traps that caused that, right? So, and he was just the unwitting person or entity that sprung them, right? And
he did even try to warn her.
And he tried, and I mean, it's almost like it's like this would be like I guess destiny. It's just like once it's going, you can't stop it. I guess. I mean, it's just so weird. Anyways, so they're all tangled up in each other's purposes. So I think that's the other interesting thing here, right?
Sure.
All right, so that's
they're
what
not separate. They really are related because they're all family.
Yeah, that's why they're family, and you can't get rid of your family.
Yeah.
Even though you might run away, and that comes up, with the conversation with Wanda, and I think that was in the episode previous, right?
No, that was in the same episode. That was in that. There was a lot in that episode.
There was a lot of episodes. So it wasn't that episode. Would you?
Yeah, because she was just in that episode.
Would you want your family to be here? And I just thought that was interesting because it's like what's going on with his family. Would you want your family?
Because there was subtext there, of course.
And I just thought, and then he's asking the question, just to get. Because I always feel like Dream is learning from people, right? Yeah. So, and I think that this whole thing with Wanda was really, really hurt him, right?
Sure,
because he loved her even just being with her for that short amount of time. Okay, so I think that's all I had to say about that. I mentioned that my last point was Delirium rightfully enraged and Desire fed up with Dream's self-centeredness. But I mean, again, that's true, but he isn't entirely to blame for that, right? So, Okay, so should I start the second?
Oh, I really like the animation with that we see in this episode and in the next one with like the weird cracking in like just the air in reality. For Delirium's realm. That was really
cracking the glass.
Yeah,
like it's like cracking reality to go into.
That was really interesting. Yeah, Delirium. I liked that.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah. That does that not in the comic books that's how you do that?
No, I don't recall. I don't think so.
All right. Well,
or at least if it was, it didn't seem as effective.
Yeah, well, I think you can do a lot of things in a different medium.
In a visual medium,
Okay, so the next one, number 5 or 16, the Song of Orpheus.
Yeah.
Okay, so these two, this episode and the last, I mean, they're an arc, like they're stuck together, so it's hard to talk about one and not the other. But I feel like, because I don't know those Greek myths, I don't know them. So I don't know how much of this is
Yeah.
the father of Orpheus was that. I don't know. Like, to me, that sounds weird.
I don't think so.
Because I don't think the endless are a Greek thing. So I'm a little bit confused about that. Or unless they just have Orpheus as the story, and then they could make Dream his. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So that's the part I'm a little not clear on. I didn't know about this story because I'm not that type of person. I learned some things when I was in school, and I don't recall this one, and that was a long time ago, so if I heard it, I don't know. I vaguely recall something about not looking back, but that to me is like, comes back to, like, this is going to sound weird, biblical, and turning back and having people turn to pillars of salt or stone or something like that from the Old Testament. So there's a thing. That's the only thing I know about turning back and then something happening. These, all of these things have these things that show up again. So I didn't know about that. But anyways, so the point is, Dream again realizes he's too late. He messed up. The reason that I believe he wants to start over. I think he's ready to start over. Like, I feel like he feels like he needs to start fresh with his new understanding of the world, and not knowing how this happens with Endless, but I feel like he's like, I need a clean slate. I've learned and I can be better. But it's so hard for him to lose the baggage of the stuff that has happened, because he's constantly being haunted by his former self. So it's like he's ready to be reborn. That's how I feel this is happening. And I feel like in some ways he's giving up. Not that he's gonna not do his duties and all of that, but I feel like he as a person is like, I wish I could just make things right.
My brother did, just go
well, I don't think he wants to do that. I think he just wishes he could write things, and that comes back in the third episode where in this episode he asks his sister to do something for Wanda, right? And she says, I can't do that, right? And then he just wants, and that there's the parallels with his son, right? I mean, Orpheus is his father's son through and through, right? Only a younger version. I do feel that Dream is driven by passion. I do believe that. He has these intense, like, things, and his son is just younger and less experienced, right? Which is why it's interesting that he becomes an oracle afterwards. But they're just very, very similar, and this whole thing, and this is what makes me angry, especially now knowing what happens in the end of the third episode. I believe that Dream knows fully well that any deal with Hades is going to have strings attached. Again, pardon the reference, but there's no way that you're gonna make a deal and come out. And
he tells Orpheus that,
and he tells him that, and
even he's really with his sister death, like. And then the rest of them all just play along. To me, Orpheus was a spoiled son, right? They just want to make him happy. The mother is like blaming Dream for, the fact that you should have gone down in your stead. She did say, like, this was like a bit of a long time coming, like.
But still, and it just empowers him to be spoiled, and they all know that this isn't going to end well. Like, I mean, especially Death, if she gives him, immortality, that she's not going to go to him. Somehow he's going to meet his end, and she must know what the options are, right? One of the, and that would be spilling blood, right? So this is the thing, like, there's a little bit of an arc here between the two, but I feel like while I was watching that, I felt like all of the siblings were enabling this tragedy.
But then at the same time, you really have to think about, like, is there any other way this could have happened?
I don't know. Really, that would have been. Like, maybe really. That's what Destiny was talking about. He just knew this is all going to go down. And it is like, I know what's going to. Is what. But the thing is, they could, like, do they not have choices? Like, maybe I feel like that's the weird thing. Maybe like, I'm just sitting here going, because they all know the rules, right? So then they should educate the son on the rules. Like, they're not just saying, "Are you sure this is what you want?"
They did try.
No, she did not. She said, "Are you sure that this is what you want?"
Yes.
She should have said, like, "This could happen to you."
Well, but maybe she can't say that.
I don't know. Like, I just find that they all enabled the whole thing, and then they blame him for the whole thing. And he was the only one wearing the big boy pants, right? Like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dream.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't, even though I'm sure this is his son. He wants
Yeah,
to
of course.
he wants to help him, but knows that this is not the way, and you're mortal, and that is part of it, right? You know, and I think he was being the better parent, quite frankly. Like, you know, you know, you can't just give your kids everything that they want, or your nephew, or your
Whatever,
you know. So this I'm like watching this train wreck happening, and you know he's going to turn around. Now, even though I don't remember the myth, you know he's going to turn around because that's human nature. So, and like I said, it comes from the biblical story too. Also, turning around, people do that. They don't do what they're supposed to do. So there's that. Okay, so let's look at. So messed up. Asked Wanda. Oh, wait, wants Wanda back.
Yeah. So
because he realizes that she was a beautiful person. You know, his son, much the same, doesn't think, you know, right? So there we go. I agree that, did agree that Dream did the right thing, not making a deal with Hades. Yes.
Yeah, not going.
Orpheus. Oh, that's gruesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that
is that like in the myth too? Do you remember anything about that? That all that's left is his head? I don't know. I'm not expecting you to remember, but but yes. Oh my god.
I don't remember. My mythology knowledge.
And then why didn't his mother say that? Like, you're immortal. That those whatever those wear can't. They're not fates. They're sisters of whatever. They can't kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, she should have said you're immortal. They can't kill you.
She kind of did. She said like.
I don't know. I think she was because he was under the impression that they could kill him. That was how I was reading it.
I think he was hoping that they would, but they of course couldn't.
Can't.
Yeah.
And I guess no one's thinking that you're just going to be a disembodied head, but I was thinking that eventually they would have found his body and put him back together again. But I guess that's not
they
what's
completely tore up his body.
There's
nothing to put back together. And then we establish in the next episode he can't heal. So.
Okay. Anyways, still needs to be a father and wife. No longer seeing Dream because he wouldn't go to Hades to get him. Yeah. So
well, it wasn't entirely that, and this is also because you didn't watch the last episode.
But that's as someone who's a viewer, this is what you get. And I didn't watch the episode with the cats.
Well, no, it was dual with cats and also with Calliope, the wife.
Yeah.
In the present day. But yeah, so basically, so Calliope said she said I thought I could fix him and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
at this point,
listen, sister, that's never going to happen.
Sure.
You don't get together with somebody and think that you can change them.
But at this point in time, like Dream is still like a little bit distant, sure. Or at least he would appear that way to someone who's just a normal like human inside the universe.
Yeah.
So it wasn't entirely. That might have just been like just a thing that like straw that broke the camel's back, right? That might have just been the thing that ultimately caused her to.
But again, spoiled boy.
maybe a bit, but
yeah,
he's literally the kid of like.
Yeah, still spoiled.
But still, yeah, well, I guess
still spoiled.
A bit, or maybe just naive.
Yeah, and again, I said Dream tried to be responsible there, but siblings not helping. That's what I was just talking about.
Especially Destruction. Destruction was like, okay, well, sure, go and visit your aunts.
Yeah, go do that.
Yes,
they're just deferring the responsibility onto
Orpheus
each other
from jumping off the cliff. But like he could have gone about it in a different way. He could have like backed up Dream and said like, hey, you're alive, so keep living. But
he didn't.
He did.
Then the apology to Delirium. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was nice.
Was good. Yes.
He apologized.
I like that.
He wants to make things right. And then she even remarked,
"You apologized."
Yeah,
you never do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I like that.
I like.
The apology to Delirium. Yes, now taking up the task, and Lucienne agreed.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You should go find your brother. Mm-hmm. So what? And then I started thinking once something, and I don't know if you know the answer to this because you read the comic book. So something happens to Dream.
What happens to the dreaming?
What happens to Lucienne and Matthew?
Okay, well, you'll see later.
I'll find out.
You'll more than likely we'll see you later. Yes.
Okay, because I'm like, what happens? Does everything start all over again, or does it just?
I think you'll see that later.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that.
Probably
not listening to Destiny. Dream is ready to. He's ready to just break it all down. I mean, like going back to the idea that Destiny
was like probably shouldn't going.
You shouldn't do that. And it's just like, you know what, dude?
Don't do that.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. It's my time. It's your time. That's how I feel about this. How I feel it's going.
Yeah. Sure.
So I feel like Destiny is cowardly. You know, I think he's a coward. I think he's a bloody coward. I do. Okay. You know, he should set things right himself as well, right? And saying, well, destruction didn't want us to go there, so let's just not do that. And I don't care if he knows what's going to happen. I mean, he should still. It's just his family. That's what it is. Yeah. What is the opposite of destruction?
Creation. And that's what he was doing.
But what?
That's what he was doing. He was painting. He was like writing music. That's why he was doing that. Yes. That's why he was doing, because he wanted to actively make a change. He wanted to actively make a change.
Get it? Oh my god. Because I feel like the endless have like sort of pairs, and I'm like, what's the
well, yeah, that's what they were even saying. I think they were saying this like a little like they definitely said this in the comics. Okay, and I think I said this in the last episode.
It's just like, that's why he's doing that.
Define their opposite. They all define their opposite. That's why he's going and he's painting.
But there isn't a physical flamenco. Opposite.
No, there's no physical opposite. But there doesn't need to be.
Yeah,
it's need to be.
Okay, sure. All right, I get it. Oh, I get it. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Yeah. Okay. What's the opposite of it? I feel that no matter what Dream does, he's blamed for everything. I already said that. Delirium's realm, it almost looks like desire. Like, I'm like confused between delirium and desire.
I'm gonna say this later.
Okay.
I'll address this.
But anyways, so that whole like is pretty. I don't know how Barnabas is gonna like that, but anyhow,
I will address this.
And then Oracle, like I just like I actually had to look up Oracle. Like I was
what
like
an Oracle is.
Well, because I was just confused how his son could become an Oracle, right?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because the Oracle would be very all knowledgeable and all knowing. Meanwhile, he was like the last time you saw him, he was like clearly not understanding. Yeah, okay. So I'm like, how is it that he's become an Oracle? So I don't know if they addressed that in the comics, but
I was thinking he's probably because it's partially because, like, yes, he is related to, like, one of the endless, and also because, so that
he's had a lot of time just to sit there and think.
And then also, like,
and be with the priests there, too. He had those priests looking after him.
He's been alive for so long, he must know things.
Well, he's not been alive as long as...
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, so there's that. Yeah. So that's all I had to say about episode 2, starting to get, or whatever. Yeah. What did we say? It was like 5. Yeah. So then you go into episode 6, because we're already sort of bleeding into that. So that one is number 6 or 17, Family Blood.
Oh, well, I was going to say some stuff about...
Oh, you had more to say? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was
go ahead, because I thought we were discussing it.
Yeah.
Talk about yours, and then we'll go into that one.
But we're gonna reverse back to the beginning of the episode, because there was some things I didn't say.
Oh, I thought you did. No, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry. Okay. So the scene with Wanda's funeral and
that was great.
Yeah, especially like death with like sitting with Wanda like afterwards, that was like, I just really liked that. I really liked that. I thought that was really nice. And the thing that Morpheus did when he was changing the name on the headstone, that did happen in the original comics. So except of course in the comics, in the A Game of You comic arc, it's not Dream who goes to the funeral and changes the name. It's one of the characters, Barbie, from the first season. She was like the main character of that arc, and she does that. But I think it really did work, especially with the fact that they cut that out. It did work, that Dream, like, and I like that he permanently changed it. Like, he literally like changed the like the
because I don't know if the family's gonna come back anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe the aunt would.
Maybe, sure, but yeah, I really like that. And so then you were staying with Delirium's realm and that scene with the train. So in the comics, originally from what I recall, when Morpheus goes and finds her again, she's like sitting in a club, basically, like it's with a similar vibe, and she's just like, you know, being like Delirium. She's like everyone's like, what are you doing here? So that's probably how that got in there. But I'm pretty sure her actual realm is the like weird, like kind of broken down circus thing. Okay. And I was thinking that's really interesting, thinking back on it, because of course, and she says in the next episode that she used to be Delight.
Yeah.
Circus, Delight, it's weird. It's run down, broken down. It's not functioning anymore, and it's like got things grown all over it and everything.
I wonder if that's part of
maybe it used to be her realm when she was Delight, and then things just happened.
Because she feels like things are falling apart.
Sure, yeah. So
she seems to be the most sensitive out of all of the siblings.
Yeah.
So I think that she...
And I think it's probably because also she probably was the most recent to like have a big drastic change.
Okay.
Aside from like Destruction just going...
Well, at least they tell you that in the show by saying that she used to be Delight.
But yeah,
but I don't think Delirium is the opposite of Delight. I think it's more...
No. I think she just changed.
It's more like chaos.
She just changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so I was alluding to this a little bit earlier on. I think that's something that the show does really well is they make really all of the Endless just play off very much more human like in the show than they do in the comics. Like in the comics, they're always
but I think it's also the sign of the times too, right? Like I think that
when
were these written? They were written
1980s,
in the 80s. So and I can tell you in the 80s things were different.
90s,
so I think I don't think that would fly
I think
as well.
about this is about the 90s.
I don't think it would fly as well now. If it was that
you
detached.
want someone more relatable.
I think that's.
But I think it's done very well, while still staying true to like the main points and the main ideas, but I liked it. And then so then another thing again with Delirium and the eyes in Destiny's Garden, like you really see like the when he like Morpheus even mentions hey your eyes are the same color. Yeah. That was really interesting. And so then the parallels between Morpheus and Orpheus Dream and Orpheus. What I thought it was just funny that they mentioned like the dancing. So Death was talking to Dream, saying like you're not even gonna dance with your wife at your son's wedding, and then like of course Orpheus and Eurydice like he's saying I'm not a good dancer. I'm just like my father.
and that I'm gonna say something not about that, but I just think out of all the things that she could have requested. We were talking about Constantine.
Who? Right? Oh, Joanna.
Yes.
Okay, so in the next episode.
She didn't ask for much, but...
No, yeah.
Anyways, okay. Talking about your father's son, but yeah.
Yes, and then that...
Because that's where the joke was with the...
Sure, yeah. And I really, in this episode, I really liked the scene where, like, before Orpheus, like, went off and started, like, going to everyone and asking, hey, I need to see my wife.
Yeah.
And that the scene where Dream was talking to him as he was basically essentially saying like you have to move on, you have to keep living. So you're alive, so live.
Yeah.
That was like very powerful. That was actually they kind of switched the order with that. That wasn't the comics. It would have been in the last scene in episode 6.
Okay.
Instead they moved it back to episode 5. It really did work with that, and I'm really glad that they kept that because it was really very powerful, and I just really liked that.
Yep.
And then just in general, I also liked Death's like little apartment thing.
Oh yeah,
it looked so modern. Like Orpheus,
and then Orpheus comes in there like, what is this stuff?
I was
like that was good. I really like that.
We were watching it. I said while we were watching it, I bet he's gonna like mess up the record player or something because like you could hear.
Yeah, but that tells you. Now, let's just think about that. The fact that Orpheus can go there and she has all these things that she can go into the future and the past.
No,
and
because
how would she know? People haven't invented that yet.
Outside of time. All of the Endless really do. They all exist outside of time.
Yeah, but if you think about it, that's really weird.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, but
she's there for everyone at every time in every place anyway.
But that time didn't exist yet.
Maybe
where all that stuff was there. Like that, or does that come back to what they say in episode 6 that things renew themselves over and over again, and she was just there when it was there before, and we did it again. Like there's a lot to be said about that.
Also in season 1, like with that very like death-centric episode, she was saying like I'm gonna be the last person to like when the universe ends, I'll be the last person out. I'll turn off the lights and lock the door. So like she's kind of almost removed from time. Is what I'm.
Yeah, look, but you could read into that multiple ways. Yeah. And then of course
I just thought it was funny.
Aside from her, and then her realm is like the most like normal.
Yeah. because in a sense she is the most normal.
Even though it's from the future.
She's the one who really like interacts with it on a person-to-person basis with people.
Like I feel like I think that to me that message was that we've done this before.
Maybe.
That's what I feel like. But I don't know why the choice was made for that. Is that how it is in the do you remember in the comics what her realm was like?
I don't remember.
Okay.
No, I don't.
I had something to go back and look. I'm just curious because I'm just wondering if that's what the commentary is.
Maybe. But that was funny. I like that. And really I really liked like the choral stuff, like, especially like with Orpheus and the fact that his theme comes back over and over and over again.
Okay, that I don't.
I really liked that.
That's a you
that
thing,
was really
but
nice.
I didn't hear that.
I don't know if that was like the actual actor's like actual singing voice, but he has a beautiful voice.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be something to look at.
I really liked that.
But I mean, yeah. Okay.
I really liked that. And and then just to like kind of conclude with this, I really like the costuming, especially like I really like the costuming in like the Greece episode.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was really
it looked like a little bit different take on things that I've seen.
It was interesting, and I wanted to note that like Morpheus is like his like little like weird silk scarf thing, and then also the costume that he was wearing. Like,
you made a comment about that when we were watching.
Did I? Oh yeah, I did. No,
not now. I mean, when we were watching it.
Yeah, his silk scarf thing in the episode. That was this episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah, with at Wanda's funeral, and then also his like robe costume thing in the Greece scenes. They remind me very much of like the comics in which like he always wears like this like big like flowy robe thing. Yeah. And sometimes it looks like really cool and like fiery and stuff, but it reminded me of that, and that was definitely intentional. I liked that.
So costuming.
It was cool. I like the costuming.
Not just the lighting, costuming.
Yeah,
writing of course too. Yeah. And like it was great. And then
just to conclude the scene with him and Delirium, with Dream and Delirium, like Delirium like comforting him in the garden. I honestly wish like that was exactly like page for page by the comics, but I honestly wish it was longer because I really just liked it. It was really sweet. It was really nice.
No, it was good because she realizes that he's in pain.
She realized that he was in pain, and she like it was nice. I like that. Anyway, okay, last episode.
Okay, so I'll say it again. It's Family Blood. Okay, so you start with that.
So I'm like really glad that they adapted the like single chapter Joanna Constantine and Orpheus adventure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
I like that. I really like that.
Although I was a little confused because it's the same actress.
So then we had
we had to stop and then this one explained this to me. So
in John Constantine,
that was sort of the thing.
Modern day one in the comics, but of course I think there's a lot of stuff with like a lot of TV stuff with John Constantine because he's like everywhere in DC.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that. So I was lost.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute.
I think it's like actually like a funny, like it's like a purposeful thing. Like almost any DC EP has like, or IP has John Constantine in it. But but I'm glad that they actually added that little thing where like she ended up being buried on Naxos, the island where Orpheus was being kept.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was saying.
That. I'm glad that they
like
put
I said, there's so many things that she could have asked for, and that's all she asked for. I mean, I don't know if she asked for anything else, but that was that
was nice. I liked that. I liked that conclusion, and I really so the scene with Destruction like leaving. And he like kind of like went into the stars and stuff. I really like the stars and the sky CGI. I really like that how they do that in this show. In the comics it was more like he just like walked into the stars and became the stars. I see how that would definitely be hard to convey effectively. I think that was I think
this is nice. I mean you can do that with film. So yeah,
and that was nice. Though clearly he did. Destruction did feel guilty, like especially when Morpheus like was explaining like I had to
he called him out on it. It's just like dude,
of course,
but Dream was pretty harsh. Like he was there. There was no
nothing,
you're not giving up on you gave up on your responsibilities and what about your realm? He's like, well, I'm sure it's still there.
You killed your friends.
You made
me go and see my son. And then but really I think the thing that like really, at least when I was watching it, I really saw like a change in Destruction was that like when Dream said like I had to go see my son to find you, and then like he knows what that means.
Yes.
And then he
takes
like,
his sword with
really, him. Yeah. But then that really like made him. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting. and then again, I was gonna say, I think I already said this. I wrote this down again. I really like the range of Delirium, like just as a character. I really like the range. Like she goes from like very
childish
innocent,
to
childish to like very like handling things
telephone flavored ice cream.
yeah. And like the whole like I know things that even the paths that are even outside of Destiny's Garden.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by that.
That is interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, she said that, and when I was like, wow, that means that she's more powerful in some ways than Destiny.
Maybe,
because she kind of knows stuff.
Who knows? Yeah.
And it's just like, well, how does she know that? And
I don't know. We don't know.
And then there's got to be a way out. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there are other ways to deal with things. Like, and I was just like, well, that's interesting. So in some way, she's a little bit more knowledgeable about things because she understands that there's more to things than just the rules, right?
Sure. And I think that's almost like throwing a rock to get into her, like breaking reality to get into her realm. Like she can see like behind things.
Yeah.
Like she isn't, of course, like she's not bound by reality really.
And then you see that she's,
which is interesting because like even though dream defines reality, sure, but like in a way she also like can
she can
manipulate that in a way.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like there's a lot in that character. And like the thing is, I don't know if I'm at a disadvantage because I didn't read the comics, but there's a lot with that character that I want to know a little bit more about because I find this whole concept of delirium odd, right? Like Destiny I get, desire I get, dream I get, like, but like what is this one? Like it's like they're all sort of messed up into delirium. Do you know what I mean? Like if you think if you're delirious, you're like imagining things that aren't there, and you're you know what I mean, and then how far away is that from dreaming? Like I feel like it's just kind of an interesting.
Maybe that is why they did get along a bit.
It's sort of an interesting. Yeah. I think they're all tied up in that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They're all tied up in delirium. Right? Like that's how I see it. That's why I'm like, I find her weird as a concept, right? Because her realm.
Well, she's an interesting character.
It's just interesting.
Yeah, I do wish we did get there's a scene in. It probably would have been in the first episode where she like drives the car that they're in. It goes about as well as you would expect. It's a very interesting scene. I do wish they had adapted. I understand why they
we can't go back to that one unless they do like a
they didn't have enough time, but like that was
I can't imagine that going very well.
It was a very funny scene. And Matthew was helping her to drive.
And then Matthew wasn't with them when they were there.
Matthew was not with them.
Yeah, like I'm just that's what I like.
We will see more Matthew. We will see more Matthew. More than likely, we will see more Matthew.
Okay.
And then that scene like at the end when like Dream is like literally physically washing his son's blood off of his hands, that was like very, 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 very emotional. Like played much more emotionally than in the comics,
because you can.
There's a single panel of him just like sitting dejected in
it's
a
film.
chair.
You can do it.
Yeah,
it's like,
I really
this
like
is why
that.
I love film
and
so
I really
much.
like the fact that they literally showed him like breaking down, but not like
he's
explicitly.
weeping. He's not even crying.
Yeah,
He's weeping.
Not explicitly showing him. Like they did like pan away, like but like you
saw him crying.
Yeah, sure.
You saw the tears coming down.
They didn't like linger on it.
No,
and I think that was good.
You understand what's going on here. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I really like that.
And like that shows him. See, now he understands the difference between love and want.
Oh, and then also like I didn't write this down, but like when he was talking to Orpheus, like at the end, saying like I just was scared of living in a world without you.
Without you.
That was so powerful. That was very powerful.
Yeah. Very
powerful. And then the one last thing I had to say about this episode was like the scene at the end with like the fates, the furies, the kindly ones.
What are they called? Furies?
The kindly ones. They're gonna be the kindly ones, more or less.
I don't think they're very kind.
No, that's the funny thing. But actually, I know this, and I don't know if this is an intentional thing or not. Maybe it wasn't meant to be read this way. But so the show completely cut out the character of Bast, the Egyptian cat goddess, but she was like very helpful to Morpheus. She was like very like a very like a close friend. In the comics, they cut her out on the show, but then I noticed like there was when the Fates like cut Morpheus's string, there was like a cat like pawing at the scissors that one of them reached for, and I was like, wait, hold on, maybe that's.
But you don't know, like at this point, okay, maybe that's Morpheus's string, but I mean, you could also think it's destruction.
It's a
because
completely
they say
black string. They're making a scarf. He's wearing a scarf. He wears all black. Like, who else could it be?
Well, but the thing is, but if they say abandons his realm, like, I mean, Dream hasn't abandoned his realm.
They did like explicitly say something about like about Dream, right?
Of course, They said he took his son's life, and they said, but he asked for him to do that.
Yeah.
So
so we know it's his string, but I just thought that was interesting, like the cat like pawing at the scissors, but being like a little bit too.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, cutting his string. I mean, but the thing is, he doesn't. He's in the concept, like, I mean, you can't kill him. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a person. He's not gonna be, if you would cut my string because I'm mortal, anymore. Right? Sure. So but he's not the one that abandoned his realm. That would have been destruction. So they're talking about that too.
Though they're I don't know. We don't know what it will be, what the prophecy will be about yet. It'll become clear in time. That's how prophecies
Dream
work.
Did not abandon his realm.
No.
That's all I can say.
No.
So, all right. So you're done with that?
I'm done with that.
Okay.
Yes.
You did exactly the opposite. He would not leave his realm.
Yes.
Okay. So, Dream didn't want this, but the rest of the family did it anyway.
What?
Yeah, that was going back to like this
Orpheus,
whole thing with Orpheus, right?
Yeah.
Dream didn't want this. He knew this was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Believe Dream is now accepting how things are going to go. Destruction is running from it, but Dream faces it.
Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's sort of the thing I got there. Mm-hmm. Is capable of love, of course, but Dream did change according to Destruction, and you kind of feel like Destruction is a little bit proud of him for that.
Yeah.
I feel like the brother's like, look at you.
You did grow, and he was like,
"Look at you, you done good."
He was like, "I don't know,
you done good."
Yeah.
And then of course you see for the first time Dream weep, right?
Yeah.
And I mean,
really, like that's like really strong.
He could have done it before, but now you see
strong emotion.
Yeah, so he's finally he finally gets it. I like the interesting story behind Joanna Constantine. Genuine
Lady
person,
Joanna.
Lady
Joanna. Yeah, because we got to differentiate.
Oh, that's why it gets confused. Yeah, I understand what I understand what you're saying about there. Okay, genuine person could have asked for a lot more than she did. Then Destruction, while pleased that Dream has changed, clearly tries to restrain himself when Dream calls him out.
Yeah.
He reaches for Barnabas and he's trying to calm down.
Yeah.
Because he has grown himself and he knows that Dream is right.
Yeah.
So he's able to take it, right? Oh, that was the other thing. I'm going to go back to the last episode. When he's making the apology to Delirium.
Yes, yeah.
And saying that if any of my siblings did the same thing to me, I would never forgive them.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to bring that out. So this is why I feel like, again, Dream is not a very forgiving person, right? Yeah. And that comes out with Destruction. He's like, Delirium is like, oh, my brother, la, 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 la. And he's like, but you did this, you did this, you did this.
The last season, like with, what was his name? The kid of Roderick Burgess.
Yes.
I forgot his name. He's gonna. I'm sure.
Is it John?
No.
Whatever.
No,
doesn't matter. But the thing is,
yes, John D. Yes, no, but the other one, the older one.
I can't remember.
The other one.
But the point is that that he doesn't leave the realm and despite not liking what's happening, right? That's why they're always like, oh well, you're always so glum, and you're like, because he's just taking it.
Yeah.
and he doesn't run away even though he's messed up, and then Destruction runs away. And I think this is sort of the thing between the two of them. He doesn't give up, right? And I'm not saying that Destruction has given up, but that's how it looks like to Dream, right?
Sure.
You don't like what's happening, so you take off, and that's not responsible, right? And I think he knows at this point now when he sees destruction, he knows exactly how this is going to go. He knows what's going to happen. He knows how it's going to go down for him. He still goes back to his realm. He doesn't run off into the stars. He goes back knowing full well what the consequences are. Because he's a real rule stickler and he knows rules.
Sure, yeah.
So he knows exactly what's going to happen. And yet he still goes back. And he doesn't tell Lucienne what's going to happen. Just goes back and he's like, I'll go back to what I'm supposed to be doing tomorrow. And so there's a clear difference.
He did say like, tell the priests that
because he can't go back there. Yeah. I mean, honestly.
So actually in the comics he visits the priests in their dreams, so he directly tells them.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I think okay. All right, well I get it. So I see dream takes the responsibility and destruction doesn't.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, so what else did I say? Destruction knows something's going to go down, so he takes a sword. So that's sort of to me foreshadowing. It's just like, take this.
I don't know. I read it more as like he has to take his symbol of power, even though like he doesn't want it. It is still like.
I just feel like
he said it would be dangerous in the wrong hands.
I guess.
So,
but I also feel like I got the distinct impression that he feels like he's got to protect himself, but maybe not. I mean, if you're running away, okay. Anyways, we'll see. I don't know because I don't read the comics, so I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, then I said here, know that there will not be a good end to this evolving family tragedy.
Okay.
But I'll watch it anyways. Sure, because right now I'm like, this is not going to end well, and I sometimes in some way I don't want to see it because it's just going to be like sad, and you just know how it's going to go down. And it's just going to be. It's just like, why can't we just have something nice happen? But that's sort of what's going on.
But I mean, really, what could even happen that would just be like
I
everything
don't know.
Tied up all okay.
So then here again, I said the acting is amazing because we already just talked about that. Yeah. The effects, the lighting, always key in this series. Then, going back to the thing with Lady Constantine.
Lady Johanna Constantine.
Yes. The fact that Orpheus liberated France.
I
know that's kind of a weird way to end up, but I wrote it at the end. I was like, wait a minute. That's interesting. It's just, and I see this destruction, this correlation with destruction, right? I mean, there's this liberation, but eventually that's going to lead to destruction. Do you see what I mean? Like, you're freeing people, and but that's going to cause them to
a whole bunch of people die.
Eventually lead to the end, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, people have grown, people now have understanding, people have knowledge, because he talks about it was like 2 episodes ago about the atom, and he's like, people are gonna bring on their own destruction, and I don't want to see it, and so I see that
people are going to carry on destroying
people are going to carry on destructing even though I'm not there. And I kind of saw that as an interesting thing that's happening with the liberation of France and the freeing of France, and then that eventually is going to end up to the destruction. And this is why I feel like that record player was in Death's apartment or house.
Everything was going towards
because she's done this before.
Maybe, I don't know.
And she knows about this, and she likes music. Like I just I don't know. That's how I feel about it, and I feel like we've done this before, or they've done it before.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
And maybe but then, destruction. I don't know. Anyways, so that's where we're at. Yeah. That's all I had to say.
Okay.
So now we have to watch the next number of episodes, next batch, whatever it is. I'll let you decide how that's going to go down. We have 6 more episodes to watch, and of course, we're not going to get another season. So that's sad. But anyways, I mean, how many years are there in this? Is there
sorry?
In terms of all the story arcs? I mean, would there be enough for season 3, or are we tying everything up?
There wouldn't. There wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the only arcs left after this are the Kindly Ones arc and then the Wake. So there's only 2 after this. I mean, there's like a lot of other like little like 1 chapter, 1 and done story things, like the thing with Lady Joanna that was actually like a 1 chapter thing.
So
there's other stuff they could adapt, but nothing.
Just like we're talking about things with like Delirium and what made her change to
But we never find that out. We never know that.
Okay, so
we never learn about it, or at least not.
There's so much there.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some sort of fan writing about it.
Probably.
Who knows? Who knows? Just Sandman filling in things that we don't. It's not. It's like, you know, with Star Wars, you get like all these people writing and filling in like the gaps over
in the books.
In the books. So yeah. Anyhow. But you're the one that does all that reading and everything, so I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't have time. Not that I don't want to, but yeah. Anyways, maybe one day. But yeah, okay. So we'll continue with our Sandman Chronicle things as we go, and so there will be another more thoughts on that. Do you have anything else to add before we end? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I guess we'll conclude this podcast on for so far, and you can look for more Sandman in future and other things that we're doing. And again, we really appreciate you listening to us if you've listened this far. So whether you're on YouTube and you're looking at us or watching us, or if you're on audio, again, we really appreciate you listening. And let us know what you're thinking. Maybe we're completely wrong on something, or you have another thought. We'd love to know about this. And again, we started doing this because we do it at home anyways. So we thought, we'll just share it. Maybe other people have thoughts too. So for now, we'll end as we usually do. And we want to thank you, as always, for listening and being part of the Birds on Power Lines podcast.